There we go.
Mhm.
Good morning. It's Aimée Clark from Earthlight Energies, and it is May the 3rd. And I have with me Bentley from Yogasense Wellness. And I have wanted to do this for actually a very long time, and I'm really grateful that we have Zoom now to be able to use this medium to bring this project to light. I haven't really got a name for it yet, but I'm thinking of the Wellness Project. And the purpose of this is to introduce practitioners that have alternative healing modalities and different practitioners with different practices that not only promotes our local businesses and entrepreneurs, but also to bring awareness around these modalities and different practices. So, because there's a lot of people that might hear about these different practices and modalities, but might not, might be interested, but I'm not quite sure what the right word is, Anne, but it's a way to kind of introduce them to these practices in the privacy of their own home, and to be able to use, what they feel is going to work for them, and then be able to explore further into those practices and modalities. Because for me, it's all about, raising people's awareness, raising their health and well-being, and to, bring health, harmony, and happiness into their lives.
Yeah, well, thank you, Aimée. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to meet like this again through another platform of Zoom. And so thank you to Zoom for providing this service. For myself, again, this is kind of fairly new for me to be speaking to people and doing interviews through the Zoom platform. I'm used to doing a lot of things in person.
Yes, aren't we all?
So, and yourself too, right? So I'll just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Anne Bentley. I'm from North Bay, and I am the owner and proprietor of Yogasense Wellness Studio. Yogasense has been open since 2014, and it's basically a nice home-based yoga business that I've created here in my home, along with other modalities that I have tapped into, such as Reiki, and Access Consciousness is another energy modality that I provide, and Infinity Consciousness, a technique that I learned over in Nepal when I was there. So a little bit about myself. I have been practicing yoga for probably getting close to 30 years now. So when my last baby was born, I decided I really need something for me. And so that took me out of the home. I was a young mom of 3 children, and I went to my very first yoga class at a community center in the town of Bracebridge where we were living. And I fell in love with yoga. It was like, it was mind, body, spirit. It was balancing everything. At the time, I didn't even know what was happening to me. I just knew within myself that this felt right. And so yoga has been part of my journey, and it's been part of my experiences all through my life. So I found and discovered yoga early in life, when I was starting my family, and it served me all through those changes in life, right? All through being a young mom, and then also going through some personal changes, and a separation, and then going back to school, and then starting my own business. So it's always been there, and I've always fallen back on it, and it's always assisted me in moving through any challenges that I've ever had. So a few years back, like maybe 10 years back or more, a friend of mine asked me, he said, if there was anything you could do, time was not an issue and money was not an issue, what would you do? And I said, oh, I would love to be a yoga teacher. I would love to do my yoga teacher training and that. And then within 1 year, like I just put it out there. Within 1 year, I was in Ottawa. I was in a studio. Teacher training promotion program came up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to make this happen. And everything fell into place. The universe totally supported me. I was able to do my teacher training over 18 months because it was a commute back and forth. And ever since then, I've never looked back. It's been an amazing addition to my own self-healing, and then also able to share the knowledge and the practice with others. I do teach, it's a hatha yoga. So it's a gentle hatha yoga. It's kind of more beginner and intermediate hatha yoga. I've also graduated to teaching seniors chair yoga class. So I found, you know, in the yoga world and in the yoga business, there was a whole population of people that were not really included in the yoga studios, in the yoga practice. One of them, you know, was some of them couldn't do stairs, right? And a lot of the yoga studios were on a second or a third floor of buildings and stuff. There was no elevators, there were stairs to climb. And so this was a population that wasn't able to access the studios, right? And also maybe not familiar with yoga and what yoga meant in their vocabulary, so they kind of maybe shied away from it. So I decided when I came back to North Bay, when I was teaching yoga here in the studio, I thought, I'm going to try and branch out and reach out to that larger community of seniors and also people with limitations, physical limitations, to offer a chair yoga class. And so we started gathering together at here in North Bay. Classes grew at Le Compagnon, and it was a nice community that was created through Yogasense and teaching chair yoga. So
and with the chair yoga as well, like I mean, I love yoga because, well, for me it's all energy, right? So not only is it the actual, you know, it improves your flexibility, it just makes you feel so good. It's something I can do at home, although I do prefer going, you know, out to a studio where they're teaching. But I know even for myself, well, I guess I am a senior now, but you know, it can be, if you're not, you know, you have this idea of yoga, and when you, I know myself, I've been held back from going because you know, it's just always been practice at home. Do I really want to be in this group of other people that are going to, you know, be these awesome yoga people, and I'll be looking under my arms and my legs trying to figure out what to do? So there is always that. That's my own thing, right? But you know, and I have met some great yoga instructors here in town that have actually made me feel a lot more comfortable to go and do yoga. But you still want to be able to, the one thing I love about it is you can do it in your own home, and not everybody has space to be able to do that. So this is what I love about the fact that you do chair yoga, because regardless of whether you're a senior or not, if you have limited space, or you could have other challenges, physical challenges that could make getting it up and off the, doesn't matter if you're a senior or not, that could make getting, you know, up and down off the floor difficult, or some of the positions difficult. So I'm really grateful that you are going to bring this to us today.
yeah.
And I think we're going to do it as a series, right? We're going to do 3 or 4 different types.
Yeah, we'll aim for a nice gentle series. So just one more thing I want to add about chair yoga. So in the yoga practice, we use things like blocks and bolsters and straps and that kind of thing when we're on the floor. The chair also is a prop too, right? So the chair's been brought in for exactly that reason, for those of us that may have some limitations of getting down onto the mat, right? So basically, the chair brings us back up off the floor, but we still are we're still maintaining, we're still receiving all the full benefits that you would do on the mat. Like, so if you had a practice on the mat, you're able to get down on the mat, that's wonderful. If that's not possible, the chair is the other option, and the full benefits are exactly the same. So we still move all through the different parts of the body. We still do a lot of strengthening, a lot of balancing, a lot of stretching, right? Where a lot of breathing is included in the practice. And just basically moving through the muscle system, moving through the joint system itself, you know, to just kind of remove any sort of the stiffness or the soreness that can set into the joints, right, with immobility. So if there are limitations, you know, along with that, you know, there's immobility, buildup of certain gases, lactic acid can build up in the joints and in the muscles, right? So just a gentle stretching chair yoga class can actually help to relieve the lactic acid. So that causes, when that buildup happens in the joints, there's pain, there's a lot of pain and stiffness. So we're looking for freedom, right? We're looking for movement, we're looking for freedom. And yoga is movement, and movement is medicine, right? So that's basically what we're doing. It's not a competitive sport. Like, it's not a competitive practice. And I know there are some, there's hesitations, and there's some, you know, there might be some judgment and some criticism that you have on yourself of why you might not feel comfortable to do this, or in a studio environment or whatever. But it's not competitive. It's gentle, it's soothing, it's healing, right? And all of us are, you know, we're aging, and we're aging naturally, because it is a natural thing to do. And what we want to do as we move through these stages and phases in our life, just as when we were younger, raising our children and maybe going through, you know, personal circumstances and situations, this is another phase in our life, the aging process, right? And so we want to move through that with grace and ease, right? And this just helps us to, the yoga practice helps us to move through into the aging process with grace. And so basically we just start where we are, you know, with no judgment. There's like no criticism. We often leave our shoes at the front door. So we leave all of our judgments, all of our opinions, all of our ideas of what this is going to be at the door, right? You come in with a nice blank open slate beginner's mind, and that just applies to everyone. So we want to just really invite everybody in. We want to make everyone feel comfortable, be accepting of where you are, you know, in your practice, right? Make things more accessible. And maybe, you know, you might be working with the condition, right? So the yoga practice, if there's a medical condition, we can always make alterations, modifications, right? And this is therapy. It becomes therapy for any existing condition that you may have. And it's also preventative. So it's prevention you know, in hindsight, of any condition that might be starting to form in the body. So yoga has many, many benefits to it, right? And you're right, it does. It has a lot of, like you were saying earlier, Aimée, it has a lot of benefits for digestion, circulatory system, raising the oxygen levels in our body. So this is why the breathing exercises are very important, right? Because as we practice the pranayama, or the breathing techniques, it actually helps to alkaline the body, right? We want to move our pH level in our body from acidic to alkaline. And so through the practice of breathing and movement, we're able to readjust our pH levels in our body and make them a little bit more alkaline. That way, you know, certain conditions don't settle into the system.
Right. And it's all about, you know, I mean, we have to, and especially a practice like yoga, it's, you know, it aligns with not just your physical structure, building up your immune system, which is so important, and the alkaline that you're talking about, having a high alkaline level. But, you know, I think that when you're putting all these practices into place, then you start looking at things like, am I eating healthy? What am I ingesting into my body? Because the physical structure is just as important as, you know, our mental state and everything else, but it's energy. And so the beauty of yoga is that it's mind, body, spirit. It connects that whole, it's, you know, and as you go through that practice, as much as it's the physical aspects that are helping your body, it's helping you connect to that higher consciousness, that higher self. It's opening that aspect of yourself, and you'll start to see changes. And if you keep up that regular practice, you know, and changing those other habits in your life to more align yourself to a healthier well-being,
Mhm.
you know, you're going to start to see more positive changes in your life as well.
It's all encompassing, exactly. It's all encompassing. It's body, mind, and spirit, right? And you find as you deepen your presence and become more aware, because that's basically what the yoga practice does. It actually allows us to become more present and more aware of where we are and how we're what we're eating and how we're talking and how we're behaving and how we're thinking, right? So it's the whole mind, body, and spirit experience all together. And, you know, the more presence and the more awareness that we have, it just allows us to be more fully more fully present. And when we know ourselves a little bit more and we understand and we're more aware of where we're at, it gives us the opportunity to move more gracefully into those times of change and growth, right?
Yes, absolutely. So today, can you just describe for us what you're going to show us? And I think we had talked about doing the uh, 2 or 3 different ones. So maybe if you want to talk about what the next, talk about briefly what we're going to do today, and then maybe talk about the next 2 or 3 that we would like to do in the series over the next couple of months, so that people will be aware that there's more coming. And
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe after that, then we'll go back to getting ready to do the actual exercise that you're going to teach us.
Okay. So today I'd like to share with you a series, a joint releasing series. Um, just focusing and on movement in the joint systems. You know, our whole body is put together at joints or whatever, and these are the areas where a lot of the buildup and the lactic acid kind of sits into the joints. So we want to release some of that. We want to bring more oxygen more oxygen and more blood, into those areas. And so with breathing, I'll cue you to the breath and the movement at the same time. We're just kind of get the body moving and warmed up and just bringing blood more into the joint system itself. So we'll do this today. In the chair. I'd like to also introduce you to, in the future, the 6 movements of the spine. So the spine in yoga is basically the highway or the main nadi that we focus on a lot in the yoga practice. And the spine loves to move, right? It was built to move, and in it is the spinal cord, right, which carries the energy up and down from the root chakra, from the muladhara, all the way up to the crown chakra and all the way back down. So it's really vitally important that we bring movement into the spine. It helps to balance the chakra system out, and it helps to strengthen and balance those energy centers too, along with inviting the energy into the body to really move more freely. So as we age, and sometimes it's not even aging, sometimes it's just life experiences that causes the body to become really rigid and stiff, right? And so the spine becomes more and more stiff, and it doesn't have the flexibility to it that it should have. So we're going to look at the 6 movements of the spine to bring more suppleness into the spine, right? You want it to kind of move like a snake. And they're just simple techniques the spine was created to do. And then I thought also maybe like a balancing series. So any of us with balance issues or whatever, this is where we use the chair again. You can also use a wall if you're having, if you don't have a chair nearby and you want to do some of the balancing poses. I often sometimes just use a wall also for security. Mm-hmm. And so balancing poses actually help with grounding. So, you can find yourself at times through your life feeling a little ungrounded. It could be, something new has fallen onto your plate, or it could be a medical condition that you're dealing with, or just lifestyle itself, just life itself, just knocking you off balance. So the balancing poses are very, very grounding. It's very root chakra energy, and it helps to alleviate trips and falls too. Okay. So when we work on balance, mm-hmm. It decreases our incidences or possibilities of trips and falls. And this is something else that happens. I do it, I trip over my own feet, but also as we're moving, because I'm not paying attention, but as we move through our stages of life or whatever, balance becomes an issue. It really does. And our peripheral, our sight becomes an issue. So I thought maybe a nice balancing practice also. It helps to strengthen the legs, right? We need to strengthen the legs to keep us on our feet, kind of thing.
And when you say the tripping over your feet, my daughter tripped on the stairs yesterday, and she said to me, she goes, "Oh, they just don't make stairs. These stairs aren't modern enough for us. These," how did she say it, as modern females or something. I said, you just need to pay attention while you're going down the stairs.
Exactly. So we're rushing, right? Like there's all this rushing, and it's kind of nice that life is like slowed down a little bit right at the moment, because it allows us to be a little bit more present, right? And just more like just more available.
Yeah. And, so I think what we're going to do is I am going to, it's the first time I've recorded this type of thing. So I think what we'll do is I am going to minimize me and probably just turn my video and my sound off. I'm going to follow along with you. Oh, one thing I wanted to just ask you before we start. So this exercise that we're going to be doing today, the yoga, is how long will this be for? Like when you're doing this type of exercise, is it, what is a good time length for people to be doing this? And we're going to follow along with you. I'm just going to turn my video off and my sound off.
So a couple of things. I suggest that you don't eat a large meal before doing yoga. So that's something that you might want to consider. So this would be time-wise, like during the day, this would be something good to do in the morning when you wake up, or an hour and a half or 2 hours after lunch in the afternoon. I find, depending on your schedule, but really you don't want to be doing it on a full stomach. And
is it something you can do?
20 minutes. I would say about 20 minutes.
20 minutes? And
15 to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it something you could do before you go to bed, or is that not, like, is it too energizing before bedtime?
I have, in my experience, I have had people have different reactions to the practice. So some people become really energized from it, and they can like just get on with their day kind of thing. So so a lot of classes that I've taught have been like at 1:30 in the afternoon, when we kind of like need a little nap. But it can energize you, but also it can allow you to just to feel very, very relaxed and easier to go to sleep. So this is one of the benefits. This is actually the very first thing I hear from students is, Oh my God, I slept the best
Good.
tonight.
Okay.
I have not had a sleep like that in like forever. So it really allows you to, it activates and promotes rest and digest, right? So we're working with that with the sympathetic nervous system. So yeah, it can really allow you to relax. I do suggest some breathing techniques too, if you're going to be doing it at nighttime, just, just along with it at the same time. So you can do it morning, middle afternoon, or in the evening, definitely. So you are going to feel, you're going to have a great sleep though. That's going to be the
Great.
one that you start to notice, easier
Right.
digestion. Yeah. So before we begin, I just want to read to you a little Chinese proverb, traditional Chinese medicine ancient proverb, that with regards to the relationship between our joint system and the hinges of a gate. So it goes like this: worms will not eat living wood where the vital sap is flowing. Rest will not hinder the opening of a gate when the hinges are used every day. Movement gives health and life. Stagnation brings disease and death. So really, basically what we're doing is we want to move that energy. We want to bring movement in, and at the same time, the energy moves through the body also. It's like the hinging of the gates, the hinges on a gate. Our joints, our shoulders, our knees, our hips, right? Our wrists, our ankles. These are the hinges of the gate. We want to oil those hinges of the gate. So the yoga practice that we're going to do today will help to free up some of that, bring some more movement into those areas of the body. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Anne. So the way that we're doing this is that you can actually follow along. So I am going to stop my video and stop and mute my mic. So you'll just see my picture at the top. And then we'll see you in full screen, and people can follow along and play it as much as every day if they, well,
Yeah.
and this is a practice you can do every day, or is it once?
Every day,
Okay.
every day. This is wonderful. Especially, I mean, every day. If you can't get it every day, 3 times a week.
Okay, perfect. Great.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
just gonna get onto my chair. I'm on
And
the floor.
I will set my timer for 20 minutes. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
So that, and then I can just, unless you have a way to do that, but then I can just, when you see my picture come back in, you'll know we're at the end of that. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you, Anne. And I'm going to follow along. I'm just going to stop my video and my sound to do that.
So welcome everyone to Chair Yoga and the Joint Releasing Series. We're going to begin first of all by just really connecting with the breath. So I'm going to ask you all to just place your hand on your belly just below your navel area. And we're going to take a nice, long, deep inhale in through the nose. I want you to really connect with the breath and the abdomen, extending with the inhale. So really feeling that movement of the abdomen as you inhale. And then as you exhale, I'm going to ask you to just pull the belly button in ever so slightly. Just encourage the exhale to work its way through the body. And the whole time we're actually breathing through the nose. So the yogic breath is always through the nostrils, through the nose, the inhale through the nose, and the exhale through the nose, unless basically stated by the instructor to breathe through the mouth. So we ideally want to breathe through the nose, inhaling through the nose, and then exhaling through the nose. And so we're just really observing the breath. There's really nothing more that we can do when we breathe. It's just observe and just start to feel the relaxation that kind of comes from the breath. We want to try and make the breath smooth and deep with each inhale and each exhale. And we'll try 2 more breaths. Inhaling in through the nose. Abdomen extends and expands with the inhale. And abdomen contracts and softens with the exhale. And we'll make this our last round of breath, inhaling through the nose. Just inviting that relaxation into the body and the calming of the nervous system. And exhaling through the nose. Good. Slowly release the hand, place it back down onto the thigh, onto the top of the thigh, palms facing down. We're going to begin with a little bit of eye exercises. So we're going to start with 3 circles, making 3 circles in a circular direction, going to the right. So maybe looking up to the ceiling, and then over to the right, and then down to the floor, and over to the left, and again up to the ceiling, over to the right, down to the floor, and over to the left. One last time, up, over to the right, down to the floor, and over to the left. Come back to center. We're going to go in the opposite direction with the eyes. So again, starting at looking up to the ceiling, over to the left, down to the floor, over to the right, and back up to the ceiling, over to the left, down to the floor, over to the right, good, back up to the ceiling, last time, left, down, over to the right, up to the ceiling, and then back to center. Good. Rub the hands quickly together, creating that heat and energy in the palms of the hands. And then if you placing the palms of the hands over the eyes, if you have glasses, you may want to remove the glasses. Place the palms of the hands over the eyes. And just allow the eyes, allow the body to drink in that beautiful energy. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So imagine the energy moving down through the body, down into the heart area. Good. And then release the hands, bring them back down onto the palms of the palms back down onto your thighs. We're going to do a little bit of jaw exercise. So a lot of us hold a lot of stress in our jaw. We may clench our teeth also in the evening under stressful situations, and it might just be an automatic response. So we're going to do 3 circles with the jaw. So just allow the lower jaw to move in one direction 3 times. And I know it looks a little silly, but that's okay. We're trying to bring some movement and release into the jaw. And when you've done your 3 circles in one direction, we're going to move the opposite direction with the jaw, really widening and opening the mouth. There might be a lot of clicking going on. That's okay. It means there's releasing happening. Wow. Good. A little hard to talk when we're moving the jaw. Good. Take a deep breath in. And a complete exhale through the nose. We'll start with the neck. So if there are any neck issues, you might want to hold your neck as we do neck circles in one direction and then in the opposite direction. If there are no neck limitations or limitations in the cervical spine, keep the palms of the hands onto the thighs and begin by just slowly bringing your ear, your left ear over to the left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, bring the chin down in towards the chest. Good. Inhale the ear over to the right. And so you inhale, bring the head back slowly and gently. Good. And exhale over to the opposite side. Inhale. Exhale, bring the chin down in front and over to the opposite side. Inhale as you bring the neck back and behind. Good. And then exhale over to the opposite side. Last time, inhale. Exhale as you bring the head back. And come back to center. We're going to go in the opposite direction. Inhale as you move in the opposite direction. Exhale as you bring the chin down and in front. Slow, gentle movements through the neck. And again, you don't want to overextend. You want to make your circles nice and small and work out from that circle, increasing the circumference to your point of comfort. And then come back to center. Good. Take a deep breath in and a full, complete exhale. Good. Bring the arms and the hands alongside the body. Shoulders rolled back, palms facing forward. Good. Take a deep breath in, extend the arms up over the shoulders. Good. And exhale the hands down to the heart center. Good. Again, inhale. In through the nose. Exhale, hands to the heart. One last time, full breath in. Inhale, gather up all that beautiful energy. Exhale, pull it down into the heart. Good. Keep the palms of the hands at the heart center and push the palms of the hands into each other. With an inhale, you're going to push, push, push that elbow, that right elbow all the way to the right. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, push it all the way over to the left. So we just want the arms moving. We want the torso facing forward, facing the front of the room. Inhale, exhale again. Good. Push, push, push. Keep that pressure in the palms of the hands. Push one more time out to the side. Good, and come back to center. Good. Inhale, extend the arms back over the crown of the head, and exhale, bring the palms of the hands back down to the long side. Bring the fingertips this time to the shoulders. Good. I have a little kitty cat here. He may jump up on my lap. He likes to do yoga too. Good. So we're going to bring the elbows out to the side. Taking a deep breath in, press the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze, 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 good. Inhale, exhale, bring the elbows together in front of the chest. Inhale, squeeze the elbows out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Imagine you're holding a pencil between those shoulder blades. Good. And then exhale, bring the elbows back together one last time. We like to do everything in threes. Inhale, out to the side, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the shoulder blades. Good. Exhale, bring the elbows together. If the elbows don't touch, that's totally all right. Come to your point of resistance, your point of that's comfortable for you. Keep the elbows together as best as you can. We're going to do 3 circles in one direction. This is really great for the upper shoulders and releasing any stress and tension in the shoulders and across the upper back. Now 3 circles in the opposite direction. Good. And coming back to center, inhale, out to the side, good. And this time we're going to keep the fingertips at the shoulders. We're just going to rotate those shoulders. So get some motion going, just like you're rowing a boat. You're going to row that boat forward. Good. And row the boat backwards because we like to see where we've been, right? We're moving those shoulders, getting some movement in there happening. Good. Inhale, bring the arms back out to the side. We're going to flip the palms. So we're going to flip our left palm towards the floor and keep the right palm up. Take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to switch the palms. So the opposite hand down to the floor, the other hand facing the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, switch. Good. Inhale, exhale, switch. One last time. Inhale, exhale, switch. So this is the rotation of the shoulder when we're opening a doorknob, right? So we want to get that motion, that rotation in the shoulders. One last time. Inhale, switch, and exhale, switch. Good. Lower the palms of the hands down alongside the shoulders. You're probably a little stiff, or maybe the shoulders, the arms are shaking. Roll the shoulders back. Good. And roll those shoulders forward. Wonderful. Good. Bringing the palms of the hands out in front, actually. We're going to make a fist with the hands, and we're going to work the wrist a little bit here. Working the wrist, making circles in one direction, and working the wrists in the opposite direction. So again, trying to bring some flexibility and mobility back into the wrists. I know some of us might have some stiffness. There might be a little bit of arthritis settling into the hands and into the wrists. Good. This helps to just move the energy and bring some circulation into the wrists. Palms of the hands wide, wide open. Good. We're going to pull the fingers back towards the nose. So we're going to start with the one hand. Start with the index finger and pull it back towards yourself. Good. And release. And the middle finger back towards yourself. And release. The index finger towards yourself. Good. Towards your nose. And then the baby finger. Good. And then the thumb. And flip to the other hand, index finger. I was pruning yesterday, and so, oh my goodness, I feel it in my hands right now. This feels great. Middle finger towards the nose. Good. Ring finger towards the nose. Good. And baby finger. And don't forget the little thumb. Good. Shake the hands out. Quick, quick, quick. Shake, shake, shake. Bring the backs of the palms together. And then slowly lower the elbows towards the floor. So you're going to feel a nice bend in the wrist. And for some of us, you might not be able to lower the elbows. It might be more on a 45-degree angle. That's okay due to any sort of limitations. Or if you can't get the backs of the hands together, you can bring the fingers together, the backs of the fingers together, and then try and lower the elbows again, just to get that nice stretch across the top of the elbow, or the top of the wrist and the top of the hand. Good. And release. Good. Shake the hands out one more time. Place the palms of the hands down onto the thighs again. Good. We're going to do a little bit of hip circles to start with, so getting some movement into the hips here. So we're going to begin by just leaning over to your right as you take an inhale. Just the torso is moving. The hips are facing forward. The thighs are facing forward. Slowly come forward. Exhale. Inhale as you roll back. Exhale as you come forward. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back. Exhale over to the opposite side and down in front. Last time. Inhale and exhale. This is a really wonderful grounding exercise, a grounding practice. The circling of the hips or the circling of the waist. You can do this in the chair, or you can do it on the floor cross-legged. Either or. Good. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, moving to the opposite direction. So if you went clockwise the first time, we're going to go counterclockwise. The second time, continue breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Last time around. Inhale. Good. And exhale. And back to center. Wonderful. Keeping the palms of the hands on the thighs. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And as you inhale, I'm going to ask you to lead with your heart. Lift the heart and the chin away from the chest. You're going to come into a nice little flexion of the lower back. And then exhale, curve the back, curve the spine, tuck the chin in towards the chest, coming into a position called Mad Cat. Inhale, we'll do 3 more, coming up and through. Exhale, arch the spine, Pull the belly button in and pull the chin in towards the chest. Good. Inhale. Press those shoulders back. Lead with the heart. Lead with the breastbone. Exhale. Pull the chin in. Arch the shoulders. Curve the spine. Last time. Inhale. Coming up and through. And this will be part of the spinal class that we're going to do too, this one exercise. You can do it anytime. Exhale, release this, contract the abdominals. Good. Inhale, coming back up to center. Good. And exhale. Take another deep breath in. Inhale. Grab onto your wrist of your right hand. And on the exhale, we're just going to come into a nice side bend over to the left. Inhale, come back to center, switch hands, grab onto that left wrist with the right hand. Exhale, over to the right. Good. One more time. Inhale, switch wrists again. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Inhale, switch the wrists again. Exhale, maybe give yourself a little traction here on the shoulder as you lengthen. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the arms back down alongside the body. Wonderful. Good. So we're going to start, I'm going to ask you to pull your left knee in towards your chest. Good. And then roll the shoulders back. Try and find that straight spine. So when we're sitting on our chair, we like to actually sit a little bit away from the back of the chair. We don't want to sit with using the back support, the back of the chair. We want to sit forward so that both feet are flat on the floor and we're sitting a little bit more on the edge of the chair. This allows the core to work a little bit harder to hold us up. Now, if you do need some support behind the back, you can place a pillow or a cushion back there to give your lumbar area some support. But ideally, we want to sit a little closer to the edge of the chair in the chair yoga class. Good. So allow those shoulders to drop. Take a deep breath in. Good. And exhale. As you exhale, maybe pull the thigh a little closer into the abdomen. Good. Staying in this position, we're going to just rotate the ankle. I know you might be able to see me, maybe not. Just rotate your ankle in one direction and then rotate the ankle in the opposite direction. Wonderful. Good. And bring the foot back to center. Point the foot up towards the knee. Good. And then down towards the floor. And up towards the knee and down towards the floor. This time up towards the knee. We want to keep the foot in flexion. So the toes are pointing up towards the knee. Taking another deep breath in. Inhale. This time on the exhale, we're going to bow towards the knee. So we're going to try and bring the knee towards the forehead and the forehead towards the knee. And if they don't touch, that's perfectly all right. Bring your awareness and your attention into your upper shoulders and your upper back. And I'm going to ask you to breathe deeply into this area. So imagine you're breathing through the back body, we call it in yoga. Taking a full inhale. It's a little harder because everything's compressed. So breathe through your upper back. Good. And an exhale. Good. And one more inhale. In through the shoulders, through that back body. Just invite that breath in. Feel that expansion across the shoulders. Inhaling. Good. And exhale. Come on, back up. We're going to hold on to the knee with our left hand. Place the opposite hand on the thigh. Take a deep breath in and bring that knee out to the side. So we're going to work the hip flexors a little bit right now. And then exhale back to center. Inhale out to the side. Good. And exhale back to center. Now, if you find the leg heavy to hold up with your one hand, you can use a strap or a rubber band or even a tie to place around the bottom of the foot and hold on to the both ends of the strap, so that you can maneuver the leg out to the side and back to center with a little bit more grace and ease. Keeping the leg out to the side, we're going to do 3 hip circles in one direction. So really getting some rotation into that hip. Good. And 3 hip circles in the opposite direction. Good. Bring it back to center. Wonderful. Coming back to center. You're going to reach down, grab onto the heel of that foot, and wrap your hand around the back of the knee. So we want to support the knee. The toes are pointing up. They're in alignment with the shin pointing towards the knee. So the foot is in flexion. And we're just going to rock the cradle, or rock the baby, they call it in yoga. We do this on the mat. You can also do it on the chair. So this is really bringing some nice movement into the hip and really massaging that sits bones, right? Kind of pull the shin a little closer to you. Maybe you can wrap your arms around the shin. If you have that flexibility, just rock the cradle, rock the baby. Good. If not, that's okay. Just hold on to the heel, hold on to the knee. Good. And come back to center. We're going to do one more movement here called row the boat. We're going to push the foot and the shin away from us and pull it towards us. Push it away, out, and away, and towards us. One more time. Push it out and away. Continue supporting that knee. And then row the boat in the opposite direction. So push it out and away and pull it back towards us. And those of us with knee issues, you can definitely use the strap here again. Good. Come back to center. We're going to place the ankle down onto the top of the thigh. And if you can't get it on the thigh, you can easily just bring the ankle, crisscross it across the other foot that's flat on the mat to get the same benefit, right? Or you can place a block and place the foot on a, on a block or on a bolster, so that it's a little bit up off the floor if you can't get it all the way up onto the knee here. Good. Bring the palms of the hands to the chest. Take a deep breath in. Find that length through the spine again. So really get tall through the crown of the head. And inhale. On the exhale, we're just going to slightly hinge forward. So again, you're going to feel this in your hip. And if this is too straining on the hip itself, you can lower that foot so it crisscrosses across the ankle that's on the floor on the opposite foot, that right foot that's on the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Good. And exhale. Again, inhale, find length. So we really want to pull the ribs out of the pelvis. We want to get long in the body and long in the torso. It helps us to hinge at the hips here. We're not hinging from the waist, we're hinging from the hips themselves. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. Last time. Inhale, find length. Exhale. Hinge from the hips. Good. Keep the heart open. Push the thumbs of the fingers, the thumbs of your hands into your sternum and press the shoulders back. Inhale. Come back to center and exhale. Good. Lower the hands. We're going to place your right hand just on that left knee. Take a deep breath in. Inhale your left arm into the air, and then on the exhale, rotate to the left. Grab onto the chair behind you, either the back of the chair or the seat of the chair, as you move slowly and gently into your twist. Inhale, find length through the spine. Reach the crown of the head. Exhale, rotate a little bit deeper. Good. And one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Try and keep the shoulders parallel with each other. Sometimes that outer shoulder wants to lift. Maybe drop the shoulder blade. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Good. And exhale, release that foot back down to the floor. Shake the feet out, shake the legs out. Good. We're going to do the opposite side. So take a breath in, pull that right knee in towards your chest. I'm trying to mirror you here, so I'm hoping it's working well. Rotate the ankle in one direction. And rotate the ankle in the opposite direction. Mine's clicking, so if yours are clicking, that's okay. It means that there's releasing happening, right? Build up. That's some lactic acid and the guck and the yuck, I like to call it. Good. Point the toes up towards the knee and toes down to the floor. And toes up to the knee and toes down to the floor. Last time, toes up to the knee. Keep the toes pointed to the knee. Pull the shoulders back, lift through the heart. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to bow to the knee as we pull the thigh in towards the chest. Bow to the knee. Exhale. Remember that back body. We're going to breathe through our back body again. 2 more nice, long, smooth inhales and exhales. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Release the pose. Come back out of the pose. Good. We're going to cross the, place the ankle on top of the knee. Bring the palms of the hands to the heart center. I'm trying to think what we just did on one side. We're going to go over to the other side. Find that length through the spine. We're going to hinge from the hips. You're going to feel this in your hip flexor. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, lower yourself. Hinge at the hips. Chin stays up. Here, the core has to work when the chin is up. When the chin is down and tucked in, it's the lower back muscles that are lengthening. So we want that core to work. Inhale, come back up to center, and exhale. Inhale again, find length. Exhale, come to your point of resistance. Lead with the heart here. Good, nice straight spine. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Pick up the foot, pick up the knee. We're going to grab onto the heel with that left hand. Grab onto the back of the knee with the right and rock the baby. Just give that sits bones a nice massage. Good. And now we're rowing the boat, pushing the shin away from the torso, pulling it back towards you. Pulling it away and towards you. Again, away and towards you. 3 circles. 3 circles in the opposite direction. Want to get some motion going here. Get some fluidity happening in the hip. Good. Good, good, good. And place that ankle back down onto the knee. Good. Placing the palm of the hand onto the outside of that knee. So place your left hand on the right knee. Take a deep breath in. Inhale, find length in the shoulder and the arm. And then exhale, rotate to the right. So we're just twisting in the opposite direction. Inhale, find length. And exhale. Soften and maybe twist a little deeper. Again, making sure the shoulders are parallel with each other. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Come back to center. Good. And just shake the foot out and place it back down onto the floor. Good. Just pay attention to how that feels. Pay attention to how the hips feel. We've just brought a lot of motion and energy and fluidity and movement back into the hips. We're going to do another exercise with the feet. So I just want to move down to our feet. Don't forget our feet. I'm going to ask you, you may not be able to see me, but I'm going to ask you to just tuck your toes under your chair. So you're kind of coming onto the tops of your feet. And this, for some people, is bare. It can be really uncomfortable depending on the tightness of the feet. It's really good for neuritis and plantar fasciitis, right, to help lengthen some of the tendons and the ligaments, right? You can even lean forward a little bit if you need to, just to help deepen the stretch. You know, 25% of our bones are in our feet, right? So the feet really get forgotten about, and they're so vital and important because we need them. They hold us up, they support us, right? So we really need to strengthen the arches of the feet, lengthen the tendons and the ligaments. Good. Untuck the toes, and this time you're going to come up onto your tippy toes. So you're going to lift the heels, lift your heels so you're on the toes. Lift your heels, lift the feet, good. Keep the toes on the mat and just lean forward a little bit. Lean forward, good. And again, this might be very painful for some of you, feeling this stretch, possibly in the shins, maybe a little bit in the Achilles tendon, in the ankle. Good. And come back to center. Place both feet flat on the floor. Maybe shake them out a little bit. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Good. Shake, shake, shake. Good, good, good. So I'm not exactly sure where we're at time-wise, but I think we're just about done. We've completed the practice. I'm going to ask everybody to take a deep breath in, inhaling in through the nose. Bring the palms of the hands over the crown. Good. And lower the hands to the heart. We'll close the class today with a single sound of Om. And it just really connects us and brings us all together, unites us together with the high vibrational sound of Om. So I invite you to take a deep breath into the abdomen to chant. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Namaste. Thank you, Aimée.
Namaste. That was amazing. Thank you so much. It was very enjoyable. And I got lots out of it. It was stiff in places I didn't realize.
Get moving. Yeah, good.
Thank you so much, Anne. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to share my screen because we have your contact information on here if anybody wishes to contact you. And we will be continuing this series. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Yep, here we go. So we have Anne Bentley, Yogasense and Wellness, 705-358-7325. And you can call or text her at that number. Her email is yogasense@vianet.ca. And she also has a personal and business Facebook page. Her Facebook page is Yogasense and Wellness. Well, thank you for being the first one as part of my little project here. I really appreciate it. And you have a fabulous day. I'm just going to stop the recording here and I'll chat with you in a sec.